Straight ahead on CCX News, the weather is frigid, but how long until the ice is actually safe? Plus, forget about the car. One local man has turned his garage into a home for model trains.
Still plays with trains.
We'll meet Jerry Kramer, also known as Grandpa Trains, and a bowling alley makeover designed to inspire a new generation of bowlers. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us.
And the cold weather means that area lakes are freezing fast, but are they safe yet to go out on? Eric Nelson joins us now for some answers on that.
Yeah, Alex and Mike, this Arctic air has the Northwest Metro in a deep freeze. It also means that people are eager to get out on Minnesota's 10,000 frozen lakes. But the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office says not so fast. Their belief is that ice is never safe. If you are going out, it is critical to make sure the ice is thick enough to support your weight.
It's basically 4 inches to walk on, small group activities, 5 inches for a snowmobile or an ATV, 8 to 12 inches for a car or a small pickup, and 12 to 15 for a medium-sized pickup. And that's what we call new clear ice. If you have what's called snow ice mixed in there, or if you have a layer of snow on top, 2-3 inches of snow on top, the recommendation is double that.
Now, on a frigid, sun-drenched day, the ice on Minnetonka looks safe. There are even a couple of fish houses on the lake. But ice is tricky to judge. There can be 12 inches in one area, and 100 feet away, the ice might be just 2 inches thick. The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office drills every day to measure ice depth, but there are no guarantees of safe ice. And with the holiday break, more kids are outside, and the Sheriff's Department says they need to be aware of lake safety.
It's so important that parents educate their children about the ice, to stay off the ice, because you look out at it with the snow right now and it looks real safe. It looks like you can go out there. You need to teach your kids to stay away from the ice, and then if they are going on the ice, you need to be there to supervise them at all times.
The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office recommends that if you're going on the ice, stay near the shore, wear a life jacket, and don't go out at night. Mike?
All right, thank you very much. Temperatures have some people scrambling to find shelter.
A Robbinsdale pastor is making it his mission to make sure that they're warm and well fed.
We are here. We have a few more families, a few more homes that we have to go to today, making the rounds, trying to help people have a meal on their table during this frigid holiday.
Pastor Harding Smith delivers food and other items to families in Brooklyn Park and surrounding areas. Smith says when the temperatures drop, more people need assistance. In the past, he used the church van to deliver items, but now he's forced to use his personal vehicle.
Oh, it's been tough. The church van broke down, and that van has served us greatly for 20 years. And we didn't have the money to make repairs, so sadly, we had to let the van go. So now I'm making delivery out of my vehicle.
The church is trying to raise money for a new van. You can check out their website if you would like to help out.
A 25-year-old Brooklyn Park man has been convicted in the death of a 7-month-old baby. A Hennepin County jury found Chris McMorris guilty on 3 counts of second-degree murder. Authorities say McMorris was alone with the baby when she died in March of 2016. The baby was found to have 11 fractured ribs and multiple bruises. Prosecutors say just over a month before the baby's death, paternity testing indicated McMorris was not the child's biological father. Could face up to 40 years in prison on each count. After a measles outbreak earlier this year, a local lawmaker says he will try again to pass a law that requires parents to take one more step before they can opt out of mandatory childhood immunizations.
That's right. Representative Mike Freiberg of Golden Valley wants to require input from a doctor or a nurse.
Minnesota has one of the more relaxed vaccination requirements in the country. Basically, any belief you have, you can choose not to vaccinate your kids, and all you have to do is fill out a notarized form, and then they can go to school without being vaccinated.
After a measles outbreak this year that sickened 79 people, Freiberg says it's a chance to revisit an idea that he says preserves parental choice, but it also adds information about the risks.
If you are not going to vaccinate your children, then you have to meet with a health professional beforehand who will explain the risks of doing that both to your child and to other children who depend on herd immunity to protect themselves.
Freiberg says the goal of the bill is to increase vaccination rates so that another measles outbreak won't happen again. A Brooklyn Park bowling alley has undergone a makeover just in time for the new year.
The venue, formerly known as Brunswick Zone, is now called Bowlero. And as Delane Cleveland reports, management hopes renovations will help bring in a new generation of bowlers.
On a frigid day with no school, dozens of people flocked to the bowling alley for some food, fun, and family time.
Every Saturday I used to come here with my dad, but my dad passed away. Yeah, so it's like memories.
The bowling alley is a place to make memories, but this particular Brooklyn Park venue has its eyes set to the future.
We've converted the property to a brand called Bowlero. It's a little bit more interactive, a little bit more technologically advanced.
Robert Hyder is Bowlero's district manager. He says Brunswick Zone was purchased 4 years ago and the company is just now remodeling and rebranding its properties. And much like Brunswick Zone, the idea is for this to not just be a bowling alley, but an entertainment destination.
Trying to get the millennials in to kind of see what bowling can be today. Just kind of taking the traditional setting and kind of making it modern and trendy and hip again.
For instance, they've added video walls at the end of the alleys for people to watch sporting events while they bowl. They've also updated the decor, the sound system, and they've added a 1970 Mercury Cougar in the lobby.
We like to see people get in the car, use it as a prop, take pictures, those kinds of things. More than anything, it's kind of a conversational piece.
Bowlero will still have leagues and offer a traditional bowling experience, but they're hoping the amenities will capture a younger crowd.
It's definitely a place for kids as well as families, pretty much every generation.
In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
They will have a grand opening on January 6th. Still ahead on CCX News, a standout student who uses her camera lens to convey emotion.
Plus, the Breck girls and boys hockey teams shoot for wins in holiday tournament play.
But first, it looks like we'll be adding some snow to the bitter cold temperatures. A look at the weather is next. This week's standout student has an eye for photography.
A senior at Perpich Center for Arts Education, Cameron Friedrich has a depth that belies her young age.
I call this lens my baby because it is a very, very nice lens.
For 18-year-old Cameron Friedrich, her camera provides a way to express her thoughts and emotions.
I started thinking about photographs more, not only as something that is just a very accessible tool to remember a moment, but more of a way to experience a moment.
As a senior at Perpich Center for Arts Education, Cameron's work often focuses on people. Cameron's mother is a photographer as well and serves as a role model for her daughter.
Something that I hold very close to me is our conversation and what I can learn from her. She's an incredibly intelligent woman, and she really does inspire me.
Her mother's hands are featured in this work entitled Grasp.
It's a representation of always trying to reach for something more.
Cameron's photo recently received national attention when it was chosen among 2,000 submissions for a youth art exhibit in New York titled America 2017. The show garnered mentions in The Week magazine and the New York Times.
A lot of what we talk about in class is the idea that everyone can take a photograph, but we're really looking for those photographs that stand out and that can have multiple experiences to it. So there's not just one story, but everyone has their own experience to it, and her work really evokes that.
Teachers say Cameron stands out not only for her art, but for her mind, too. She's an A student who has a maturity and awareness that her teachers believe will serve her well beyond her time at Perpich.
What we do here is really to help to develop students as thinkers and creators, and Cameron is really a strong representation of that.
Cameron Friedrich is applying to schools in New York where she would like to study either photography or fashion design. Up next, the grandpa who still plays with trains, and he is happy to do it.
But first, Maple Grove girls basketball team gets back to work preparing for the next holiday tournament. John Jacobson is in next.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. It's winter break for local schools, but athletes are still working hard for holiday tournament play and the rest of the regular season. Jay Wilcox caught up with the Maple Grove girls basketball team.
It was back to work after a few days off on a frigid Wednesday morning for the Maple Grove girls basketball team.
We did some running drills, and it was like I hadn't ran in like 4 weeks. So
the days off have been really good. I mean, when we first came back, obviously we're kind of sluggish, but I mean, he really kicked us into gear, getting us ready for our game tomorrow.
I think it helps that it was 50 degrees in this gym when we walked in. It kind of woke everybody up a little bit. But no, I mean, you know, again, their attitudes have been so great. They walk into the gym, they're ready to work, they're ready to get after it.
It's holiday tournament time for the Crimson. They play at St. Michael Albertville Thursday and Friday, taking on the host team first.
This is going to be my 4th year. I'm really excited. It's always really good competition. St. Michael, they're really good. Edina, they're really good. It's kind of like the first third of the season's over, so it's kind of like a good checkpoint to see where we're at as a team.
we play St. Michael first. We're just trying really hard to work on boxing out and like outdoing their hustle, because they're really fast-paced team.
Yeah, this is kind of ending that first part of the season and kind of seeing where we're at. We know we have great competition up at St. Michael, you know, 4 good teams up there, so really good test to see where we're at right now.
Maple Grove enters that tournament with a 6-2 record. Both losses were to teams now in the top 10. It's been a strong start overall.
I think we're making like the extra pass more often. Like, we're not being as selfish. We're more thinking like about the team's success.
You know, losing to Wayzata and Park Center, those are both really, really good teams. 2 totally different styles of play between those 2 teams. So you learn a lot from that, about a team that's just big and strong and wants to come in and pound you like Wayzata does, and then a super athletic team like Park Center that wants to get up and pressure.
The Crimson will face 2 good tests at the holiday tournament. Then it's time to hit the heart of the Northwest Suburban Conference schedule. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Maple Grove meets St. Michael Albertville at 7 o'clock Thursday night. The 3rd place and championship games of that tournament are Friday evening. It's a big week for holiday hockey tournaments, too. The boys' portion of the big Schwann Cup tournament started Tuesday in 4 divisions. The Breck Mustangs facing Buffalo in the Silver Division quarterfinals. Breck's Nick Strom leads the rush and slides a pass to Michael Kenny. His shot slides under the goalie's pads, and Breck leads 1-0 after 1. Watch this one. Breck's Bo Cornier to Justin Paschke to Will Torgerson to finish the 3-on-1. Mustangs strike just 33 seconds into the second period to lead 2-0. But a turnover cost them as Jake Brasini picks it off and fires quickly to get the Bison on the board. A short time later, Jake Brasini on the rush to Tyler Brasini. Right back to Jake for the tap-in, and it's 2-2 after 2. Former Armstrong star Aaron Johnson coaching Buffalo with his brother Thomas and dad Bruce. 3rd period action. Torgerson will fire from the left wing as Breck tallies just 9 seconds into the period for a 3-2 lead. Down 4-2. Buffalo gets one as Devin Hubner fires from the slot to pull the Bison within 4-3. But Linden Olmus has 25 saves for Breck, and they hold on for a 4-3 win. They play Creighton-Durham Hall in the Silver Division semifinals today at 5 o'clock. Meanwhile, the Breck girls hockey team is part of a strong field again this year at the 11th annual Walzer Invitational Tournament hosted by Edina. Breck facing Grand Rapids Greenway in the quarterfinals. Mustangs strike first. A shot from the point by Julia Murphy, redirected in by Lucy McGlynn for a 1-0 lead. That's the score after 1. 33 seconds into the second period. Maddie Drotz to Sadie Pert for the goal. That ties it at 1. 25 seconds after that, though, Breck retakes the lead. The rebound goal by Sadie Lindsay. Still in the second, Olivia Mobley with a drop pass. Gabby Billings, first shot is blocked, but she stays with it, and that one goes in. That's a 3-1 Breck lead. In the third, Billing around the defender and snaps home another shot for a 4-1 Mustangs lead. Breck sophomore Allie Qualley with a nice rush. She'll finish to make it 5-1. They win 6-1. Breck advances. They're playing Maple Grove Wednesday at 5 p.m. at Braemar. And that is it for sports. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, John, thanks. Up next, we'll meet a man known as Grandpa Train.
A Crystal man is known for giving a good home to a few good trains. That story when we come back. When you get stopped by a train, you might consider it a nuisance.
But one Crystal man considers getting stopped by a train his lucky day. Shannon Slatton introduces us to a man called Grandpa Train by his family.
I try to come out here every day.
When Jerry Kramer made the decision to downsize and move into a senior living facility,
oh yeah, come out here and run the trains. And
he had a tough choice to make.
Get rid of the car or not? I says, okay, get rid of the car.
Turns out it wasn't such a tough choice to make after all.
That's true, yeah.
Ditch the car.
And I'm okay with that, yep.
Keep the trains.
Still plays with trains.
Jerry turned his garage into a slice of the Midwest.
If you're going to do the Midwest, you have to have a grain elevator. A lot of people will say, can we come see your train? I said, sure. When do you want to come?
His railroad line zips through farms, cities, and even a carnival.
Okay, let's make sure the switches are right here.
All stuck in the 1950s.
It's kind of like sitting down and getting lost in a good book. You know, it's a good storyline. And you kind of make up your own storyline as you go.
To make sure he doesn't get too lost in a story on the rails, he has a clock.
There goes the clock.
To keep him right on time.
When I come out to run the train, I set it for an hour, so in case I don't overstay my limit, then Dawn changes the lock or something.
Dawn is his wife.
We've been married for 22 and a half years, so.
And you can see her influence here too.
Dawn's antique.
Jerry can't resist the opportunity to give a train a good home.
That's what I've been doing lately, giving home to lots of good stuff.
Repairs and maintenance are part of the hobby.
Why is this thing stopping here?
When something breaks in the back corner, as it inevitably does,
for some reason it wanted to stop. I don't know why.
He has a plan.
So then you have to get out your ever-famous popular old person's grabber and you stand on the chair and you reach way over into the corner.
Jerry knows trains spark a special chord with people.
Okay, time to shut her down for today.
So he plans to keep them running in his garage.
I just like doing it. I really do.
As long as he can.
Very enjoyable.
In Crystal, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
And while our crew was talking to Jerry, another resident told us he is also working on setting up trains in his garage. And Jerry does keep the trains on time, says he's out there an hour. Yeah. And today we checked with him, and you know it's not heated in the garage, so he wasn't out there an hour, but 20 minutes. And so, but that's still dedication.
That is. You know it's cold though, and Jerry's only out there 20 minutes, right?
That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We will see you back here again on Thursday, starting at 4 o'clock.